Hello, hello, welcome and welcome back to T is for Temidayo. It is 1:13 a.m. Technically, it's February 2nd. I'll probably date this as February 1st, only because it is still the night of between the 2nd and the 1st and the 2nd. Today is day 61 of 365 days of tea for me. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Today we will run this on our abdominals because it's been a minute since I've been there. I can definitely feel that this is starting to empty out, so I will put in a request for renewal and I can make that a video that I can share with you all as well. We're just gonna rub this on our abdominals, aka our stomach area. Get it all throughout. It's much a smaller surface area than my quads, my hamstrings. There's like a lot of surface area over there. Not a super big amount of surface area here. It always seems to take a lot of time to absorb when I rub it on my abdominals. Yeah, just to give you all a visual, this is what that looks like. Me rubbing it on my abdominals, me patting it in so that I'm not rubbing the skin, but just getting everything in so that the gloves are dry. And they are dry now. And then that'll just let that stay up for a little bit while it dries until it's all through. Done. All right. Okay, so today is a little bit interesting. I just got back from a dinner with my partner and their friends. We were celebrating my partner and their latest achievement. And it was like a mix of their friends, all of whom they've known for at least like, I think like 4 to 5 years, some of whom they have known for like closer to like 20 years, if not longer. I think I, yeah, I left feeling a little bit confused because a couple things were happening. They were using a name for my partner that my partner does not use with me, did not introduce themselves to me with, and I do not use at all. So every time they are every time where I'm with them and they are with their friends, I always feel like a little bit of like I'm splitting my consciousness. I'm splitting my ability to understand who they're talking about. And it takes a while for my ear to get used to who they're talking about. And the reason that they have two different names is because they transitioned. And so they have the name that their friends knew them by, or an abbreviation of the name that they used to go by. Then they have a completely different name, which is also part of their reclamation of their heritage. And so I am using the name that is a part of that reclamation of heritage, and their friends are using the name that is an abbreviation of the name that they used to go by. So my brain was doing a lot of like, okay, they're talking about this person, they're talking about this person. And it's like a pretty easy sort of adjustment to make, but it is like a constant adjustment over the course of, a 2.5 hour dinner to be like, right, that's who they're talking about, that's who they're talking about. Additionally, like, I was seeing pictures of them, like, I think they said something like 15 years ago, maybe 11 years ago, but still at least over a decade. And I was like, wow, I really don't even recognize you. And that is a testament to the power of transitioning. It's not like, they're like, a full beard and, big, huge, body transformations, but it's more like even something as simple as like they change their hair, they like significantly change the way that they dress. And, I'm like, I'm like looking at a group picture and I can't even point them out. And then hearing all these stories about who that person is by a different name than I know them, I think it was like wearing away at me over the course of this dinner. And I'm the type of person that likes to connect with everyone at the table, and I'd like for them to have the same interest in connecting with me. I know it's especially when you're with like people who know each other really deeply and have known each other for a long time, like they're not really concerned about getting to know me. And because I was the newest person to the table, I think I was hyper aware that like I was making a lot of efforts to get to know them and almost by extension, like get to know this version of my partner that they seem to know very well and I have never really like met before. And I don't know if it was like the transition or like the feeling like they knew this person pre-transition and I knew this person well into their transition, or if it was just like, I'm very black. Happy Black History Month, by the way. Very black, a little bit older, and just like from a slightly different upbringing, I just felt very like on the outside of a lot of this evening's conversation. And I don't think anybody meant to do it on purpose. I definitely know my partner didn't mean to do it on purpose. But I think I walked away after dropping them off at home feeling like, is that the potency of transition? That like who I know and who you know are two very different people, and who the people that you know and who love you and who have known you for a really long time will always like, you'll always be that person in their head, or if that's just like me feeling like sort of teenage and high school about like, oh, I have no idea what they're talking about at this table. I don't even know who they're talking about at this table because I've never met that person. And if that's like a universal feeling, I'm sure it is in many ways. I think I just walked away tonight feeling really unsettled. That like, whether it's the social transition or the middle court transition or whatever, but just feeling so like, it's wild to think I've been seeing this person for over a year and I still actually don't know enough about them to feel like I can recognize them in a conversation and in a group photo. And I'm like pouring into who they are now, but still feeling so like thrown off by the lack of knowing who they were. Is it my place to know who they are or who they were? Do I have a right to know who they were? Probably not. But what is it when you are building a relationship with someone and I have let them get to know so much about me? I think, I don't know, I felt like a little shortchanged by the lack of knowing at the table and feeling the deep like desire to compensate for that lack of knowing who they were by being incredibly like hyper aware of the present and who they are now. And where I fit into their life. You know, I'm sure I'm not the first person to feel that way. It sounds like this is ripe for, like, what it feel like to come to a reunion and you're celebrating someone's 50th birthday and you met someone 50 years ago and then you met someone 5 years ago. Or, you're at like a bachelor or bachelorette party weekend and it's someone's childhood friends versus the person that they met in college. Like, I know that this feeling is not unique, I think, but specifically the way that the name and the photos are unrecognizable to my ears and my eyes feels more uniquely trans and trans focused. And yeah, I'm not sure what to do with this information. Like I said to my partner, I think I just want to process it. What I don't want is for it to feel like the person that I'm getting to know only exists in the time that I'm sharing with them, because our relationship does not exist in a vacuum of our social circles. Like, their people are their people and they will be around, and my people are my people and they will be around. And so I want us to continue to be who we are as we are with each other as much as we can be, no matter who we are around. And I think that means that there's still so much getting to know of them, so that when I do spend time with their circles, I don't feel like I am hearing about a stranger, even though this person is like the one that I've been spending the most intimate time with over the course of the last 365 days. I think something there is how I'm feeling and where I'm at. And I'm trying to find the affirmative in this desire so that I can take it forward and not be stuck feeling like I don't like the way that I felt tonight. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. T is for Temidayo. Tune in tomorrow for another day of 365 days of tea for me. I love you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.